Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the Curse Podcast. We are here again. We got a special guest, Tony. What's going on?
Hello.
What's up, man?
I'm
Welcome.
really excited for the Curse Cast.
The Curse Podcast. Come on.
Curse
The
Podcast.
Curse Podcast. Yeah, welcome. It's our first special guest today. Yeah, but
And of course, we got John and I. Welcome, guys. So today's topic of discussion is, of course, Mothman. A bit of Virginia lore and all that, but
West Virginia.
Virginia lore. All right.
Okay.
But yeah, kind of a bit of a paranormal background to him and all that. He was supposedly an omen that would come before bad things happen. There's a bunch of accounts we have here, of course, just to tell you guys. But John, anything interesting to bring into this?
yeah. So he's cryptid. Definitely a super popular cryptid in the eastern part of the U.S. So yeah, like I said, he's an omen. Some people have said that he brings disaster, or he tries to warn you from disaster. But what's really interesting is his kind of origins, how it like goes back to like kind of like World War II, like kind of one of the most polluted sites in the U.S. Like, which I didn't know, like researching that. But should we go all the way back to Virginia, Point Pleasant, boys?
Of course, yeah. Let's start there. So one of the first accounts I have is, of course, it dragging on from November 12th to 1996 to December 15th, 1967, with multiple counts, especially one by John Keel in 1975, believed that he saw a crane-like, Mothman-like creature flying above him, and initially thought, hey, that's a Mothman. And
Hey, that's a
I don't know.
You know what's hilarious is like
Those Mothman guys.
hey, he's one of the Mothman boys. They call them Mothman police. And they're like, who are you gonna call? Shut up.
Mothbusters.
Oh my god.
So it's like they're like, it's Mothman. This guy doesn't have any moth-like attributes or like physical features at all, which I saw, which is kind of interesting, and other people's opinions. I mean, like, I haven't really seen Mothman, so I can't say for sure. Did you know Mothman is actually rumored to be in GTA San Andreas as well?
Really?
Yeah, it's probably very untrue.
With the ghost cars and all
That's
the other
actually
bullshit.
true. The ghost cars are actually true. We should do a Chris podcast.
I thought that was a
on GTA.
rendering issue, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like just didn't render the humans or whatever. I don't know. But anyways, yeah, so like West Virginia is a hotspot for a lot of paranormal and like cryptids, like the Flatwoods Monster, which is kind of interesting. It ties into the Foundry Raiders, which is kind of the thing for our All Fallout 76 series that we do. So there's a couple of cryptids in that game and from the area as well, which is kind of interesting. We also have the Inward Cold. And so it goes back to Point Pleasant, first sighted in 1966. Near Clinton, West Virginia, apparently. So, like, dark night, 5 men were in a cemetery preparing a grave burial, and then they just look up in the trees and they just see this thing just fucking take off in the night. So, what's the most scary experience that you've ever seen that's, like, almost paranormal?
A ceiling fan fell in the middle of my room. And I was like, okay.
This one night, I was getting ice. I was upstairs. I was getting ice, and I look out and there's a window, and I see these eyes, and I'm like, I just sit there and stare at it for a minute, and the light's on in the kitchen, so it's like it can see me, and I see just my reflection into the window as well as these eyes, and I sit there and just look for a minute, and my fucking heart goes whoop down, and I'm just like, fuck. And then I kind of like, my brain like fills everything else out, and it was wind chimes with like these 2 dots in the middle of it, like up against the fucking window, and it scared the fuck out of me. I also saw a UFO last Thursday night.
Oh yeah.
He
did.
Yeah.
You willing to show the viewers?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I didn't want to edit, but thanks a lot. Now I got to.
It's the moon.
It's not the moon. It was moving. Look at this shit.
Okay.
Yeah. I saw a UFO. I was gonna text you. Yeah, look at that thing. Yeah. That was not the moon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What if that was a plane?
It was not a plane.
Okay.
It was real.
It was a UFO.
It was real. It wasn't scary though. It was scary the way I was driving, trying to film it. And shit.
You're just like,
get out of my way.
way.
Trying to film this UFO. Move.
That's true. So yeah, we also have loads of Mothman sightings in surrounding states, all around that area. Just kind of like how we had Bigfoot like in the West Coast, kind of northern part of the U.S. So
Sasquatch.
yeah, Sasquatch, one of my favorite. Do you think Sasquatch is real?
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. I think he was real at one point.
I feel like it's just a gorilla that's out there or some shit like that. It's just
Silverback.
like
Just waiting for people to get stuck in ice. So, do you get that?
You're getting stuck in ice? No, that's why I'm laughing.
that's a would you rather we had a little while ago.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that's a fun would you rather. So, did you know actually people think that Sasquatch is an interdimensional being, that he travels between dimensions at like that? That's why people can't find him?
He has like an interdimensional like cave system he goes through.
Yeah. Apparently, like, I don't think that's true. They think it's like he's a fairy. Sasquatch, known fairy.
He's a time traveler.
Yeah.
He's from a time where nobody was just like, everyone was hairy as fuck, and then he's like, no, it's all with all these smooth skins.
That could be the future.
He was like, man, I'm the loser out on this plane. I just need to like go to this place. Everyone wants to see, like, take pictures of me, see me.
The Great Gillette Razor War.
Oh my
no one
God.
was able to shave
Okay.
after that.
So, yeah, apparently we have a hotspot for sightings of Mothman in an area called the TNT area, which dates all the way back to kind of World War II. So in World War II, we had loads of munitions that being created there, like bandit factory kind of area, and this was north of Point Pleasant. We had an old bunker there with tunnel systems, with other smaller bunkers just containing chemicals, materials to make bombs, dynamite, weapons, ammo, kind of thing. So after the war, none of it was cleaned up. It was just abandoned, and then, you know, weather takes effect. The tunnels start to collapse. They start to flood, and which, you know, the area creates its own irrigation canal to ponds and swamps and lakes nearby. And the chemicals come in, and it just sits there for years and years and years, and all the way up to 1979, fishermen and TNT, like, they report like chemicals have been just causing it, like, just be fucked up area, and it was like eventually labeled an environmental disaster and one of the most like polluted sites in America, which I had no idea, but apparently like that's one of the like origins for Mothman, is that because it's one of the most polluted sites there. So
Really, I had an encounter right next to the TNT town, and it was from Steve and Mary Millette. I feel like I'm messing up that name, but still. They said that they spotted a being with red eyes that were glowing at them whenever they were driving their car. They flashed their flashes.
So it was with, there was like two couples.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, two couples. I
Yeah,
only
it was
had one
Steve
couple.
and Mary and, what was the name we had? We had Roger and Linda. Yeah,
Really?
they're cruising along, driving and shit like that, and they saw the two glowing eyes, and they started to fucking book it down the highway. They started to fucking cheese it from the TNT area.
Yeah, because
Apparently-
apparently he followed him.
Yeah, going
supposedly.
100 miles per hour. It's reported going 100 miles an hour. You imagine flying down a highway going 100 miles per hour, and then
So it's like, hey,
Yeah.
where you going, boy? It's like, hey,
hey, boys,
I have to warn you, stop! Like,
there's gonna be a car accident. He fucking
Boom.
pauses it.
motherfucker,
Trying to warn him.
He just causes.
Slow down, slow down.
That's funny. So they were driving to Point Pleasant, and it, like, just the entire drive going 100 miles per hour. I don't believe that, really, especially in 1979, I think it was. What do you got, Kyler? I don't have a date for that one.
I don't have a date for that one either.
Well, we are unprepared.
I got dates for other ones though.
So here's the best part about this: they get to Point Pleasant, and they're like, they exit the vehicle, and they're like, oh, we lost it. So what do? They
Go
drive
back.
They
Go
drove
back. Yeah.
They
All
drove
right.
back.
Whew, that was terrifying. You want to go back and see what that was? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They drove back there, and then they're cruising, and their headlights hit this tree line, and they see it again. And then they're like, oh, fuck. And then they
let's
drive.
go back to Point Pleasant.
Yeah, a waste of gas.
Oh, she is that?
Yeah. It was crazy. So, like, after that, over the next year, over 100 sightings of Mothman were confirmed, or reported, not really confirmed. A lot of the Mothman witnesses apparently were interrogated by the Men in Black as well.
Really? I didn't get that.
So you think?
Well, I don't know if it's confirmed or not, but definitely rumored.
So like, let's say he was like mutated from the runoff from the like munition storage.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think he's like a mutated man or a mutated moth?
That's the thing. It's like it's really interesting. Like I'd say, I don't know, maybe like a mutated man. I don't know.
It could be a mutated moth because I don't know if there'd be any men around there unless like something happens, of course.
Yeah, I mean like fishermen were around there.
Yeah.
I mean like so are Linda and Roger and Steve.
Steve and Mary.
They drove back and they were fine.
Yeah, well they're not fucking like
They're not the Mothman.
Yeah, they're not swimming in there, you know. Maybe if they hung out there for a couple more hours or days, they would be the Mothman. Maybe we should take a trip. Guys, hit up that Patreon down below, and we can take a trip over there. And we'll throw Tony in the sewage for a couple days and see what happens.
If he tries to get out, we'll hit him with a paddle.
Just instead, it's like a week later, diagnosed with leukemia.
Well, it's close enough, I guess. I foresee that I will die.
Mothman is just an unfortunate cancer patient.
My eyes are red from the chemo and they're bloodshot. I'm not Mothman.
I'm not an omen. Please help.
Oh man. Yeah. So a big thing is that he tries to warn people. He tries to warn of disasters and stuff, such as like the Silver Bridge, 9/11, Chernobyl, and
I didn't get Chernobyl really though.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Yeah. So
There ain't no Russians here to warn about Chernobyl.
So, isn't that crazy? It's like, yeah, he mainly hangs around Virginia and Russia.
Yeah, he's got a big wingspan. He can fly pretty far.
Oh, come on, man. That was a vacation.
Right. He's like, I'm gonna go test this vodka.
It's like, where you going, Mothman? I'm on vacation.
This is my vacation.
Yeah. Moth noises with subtitles down below. God damn, it is bright as shit in here, boys.
Yeah.
My lord. So that's what I got. Tony, what's your favorite thing about this case of Mothman's cryptid?
I'm sorry, I don't want to interrupt real quick. One of my favorite things that Dr. Robert L. claimed that it was a crane that was actually migrating through the area, guys. And supposedly
Like
it
a
wasn't a
bird
Mothman.
crane?
Yeah, like a bird crane.
Bird crane.
I don't think.
I'm gonna have to say, probably not a bird crane. I'm not really known to have red eyes and travel and follow cars.
I think
going,
cranes do
But
red eyes.
it wasn't indigenous to the area though. He especially said that.
So it's a red eye crane.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. He just claimed it to be a crane migrating through the area, but even then, like,
Skeptical.
I prefer Mothman.
Skeptical.
I do prefer Mothman. I feel like I should have just.
Maybe it
thrown
was a
that in there.
crane. Maybe it was a crane that was chilling out in the sewage for a while. You know.
Yeah, what if he's like flying around? Like if he is real and he's like pissed, he's like, I'm a fucking moth, y'all. Like I'm a crane.
Please leave me alone.
Right? Well, they keep calling me a moth, mom. I'm a fucking crane. Like, yeah, you are a crane. You're an ugly ass crane, boy.
They keep selling my eggs in a souvenir shop. Please stop.
That's fucking funny.
They erected a statue of me.
I tried to fuck it once. I thought it was another.
Oh my
crane.
god.
Damn girl, you sexy.
Oh fuck, that's me.
Oh shit.
Actually, is there a statue? A real statue?
Yes,
Yeah,
there is.
I'm gonna look
And
that up.
It's the
Point
one in
Pleasant.
Fallout, yeah. It looks
What was
just
that?
like it. They're tearing your notebook apart.
Yeah, it's a shitty notebook.
Mothman. I'm gonna look up that statue real quick. My fingers are so fucking cold.
Because it's like that one.
Yeah. Holy shit, that is.
That's real.
Mm-hmm.
How the fuck are like? That's a crane.
It looks
I don't
like
know.
a lizard, kinda. Or like a. Remember the movie Land of the Lost? It looks like a slee sack.
Where the hell is it like?
It does look like that. Yeah, it looks like the meme moth.
Yeah.
Me moth,
It's
which
a
is
meme moth.
vastly different from Mothman.
Yeah. No, yeah, the moth meme.
I love that. I should
Lamp.
look it now.
He's like, wait, I gotta show you something. Don't go away.
Yeah, the thing I find most interesting about the case is that is the I guess the potential origin is just like one of the more polluted spots in the U.S. is like right there is it's convenient and just interesting. Like that's the most like reported place where Mothman is seen, and it's like also extremely polluted. That's my favorite thing about the case. What about you, Tony?
I guess just like the way he looks. It's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
With his red eyes, 7 feet tall.
Yeah.
He's massive.
Big mothy boy.
Yeah. Kyle, what's your favorite thing about the case?
Or, I mean, how do people directly correlate, like, seeing him with something that could have happened, like, years after they saw him? They're like, oh yeah, I saw the Mothman 3 years ago, and then 9/11 happened. He must have been warning me, like...
There's an image, supposedly, of him, like, near the Twin Towers.
I think that was an airplane.
Yeah, I think my favorite thing is how he's like reconnected, and, like staying mainly at West Virginia, because it gives the place like its own kind of lore.
Yeah, for sure. Along with like other cryptids like the Flatwoods Monster.
That's a crane.
And stuff.
No.
Apparently that Mothman is seen near 9/11 and stuff.
That book, The Mothman Prophecies, I've seen the movie to it with Richard Gere.
Oh my God, if we were setting up for this podcast, that's the only thing you can fucking talk about. All right, talk about your goddamn movie, Mothman.
Hey guys, what's going
It's a
on?
good
We're the
movie.
Foundry.
It's like
We're back at it
this-
on another paranormal.
It's just like he's a reporter slash like newspaper writer type thing. Which I guess
And
is a
he
reporter.
shows up at each event, you know, and he finally looks at the mirror at the very end, and he's the moth.
Well, he's. At the end of the movie, he does end up being the Mothman.
Are you serious? I've
Yeah.
never seen that before. That is hilarious.
That's amazing.
That's great. I love it. Okay. I think that's just about it.
He's like, I am the Mothman.
Yeah, I think that's about it too. Anything else to add, Tony?
Mm-mm.
No.
No.
Yeah, well, it was great. Thank you so much for joining us on this episode of Curse Podcast. It was great to have a special guest.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you're the first one too. It's an honor.
Will I be the last?
No, you're coming back
We'll
for
see.
more.
We'll see. Hopefully, we'll get you on another because this was fun, and hopefully next time we can prepare you a little bit
No,
too.
but like, what other guests are you gonna get on here? I'm gonna be the first and the last guest.
I mean, Apex said he might want to get on. Same with Sly and stuff. Yeah, but this is definitely gonna be a banger when we put it out. So guys, make sure to drop all the support down below, and we'll see you guys later on the next episode. Some more spookies in the future. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Today's topic of discussion is the Battle of LA. So,